On to this conversation now. Renowned author, advertising maverick and creative entrepreneur Jeni-Anne Campbell is celebrating women. Now she's looking for 10 purpose-driven female business leaders. They will each receive a free copy of her book, Feeding Unicorns. It's more than just a book, but a blueprint for building businesses. Jeni-Anne Campbell joins us now virtually from Durban. Good morning to you. Thank you very much for joining us here on the South African Morning. I think for listeners who may be hearing about you or this book for the very first time, just give us some context. What is Feeding Unicorns all about?
Thank you so much, Abigail. So I really feel that in South Africa, we have this thriving force of small businesses, but you often don't find your place of where you belong, or you feel you don't deserve a seat at the table. There are courses and people to talk to and dinners and everything organized for people who believe that they are strong entrepreneurs and know where they belong in that space. But I really wanted to speak to the people who started out as a baker, for example, and have ended up with employees in business, or people who are leading teams that really feel like they don't know what they don't know. And that's where the book started. Personally, I've built my career and my focus in marketing for social impact. So where the two marry is where I am saying for exponential impact, the people who have started with good intentions and found themselves in that nonprofit space with teams that they need to lead and businesses that they need to run, I want to be able to give back and say to them, give me a call, nominate someone in that space. I will send them a book and help them learn how to feed those unicorns.
Fantastic. We'll talk about the mechanic of this giveaway to these 10 women a little bit later. But Jeni-Anne, December is the festive season, and usually it's about giving, it's about generosity, it's about sharing. But you're saying that generosity should not stop at, let's say, gift giving. What does generosity then in leadership actually look like on a normal workday in the workspace?
I think generosity in the workspace is a mindset every single day. And it's a mindset for your employees too. It's a thinking about the next person who is going to pick up a project from you, the next client who you're going to speak to. It's generosity in how you speak. It's generosity in how you pay. It's generosity in how you give of yourself to help people in their roles. So generosity, I think people always think it's this unattainable thing that you need to have a lot in order to give it, but it starts with a mindset.
Yeah, and very often this time of the year specifically, a lot of us are overworked, we're burnt out, we're in desperate need of some sort of break. But you challenge the idea that burnout equals some sort of commitment. Why do you believe that burnout is a leadership problem, not a, let's say, personal failure or personal issue?
I feel that particularly for women, it's this badge of honor that we are looked down on if you potentially ask for help, get help, pay for help. And in a working space as a woman, I can say that it's not this badge of honor. Martyrdom is not something to admire. Asking for help is actually extremely honorable. You're giving other people a chance to be generous. You're giving people a chance to support you and learn and grow. And I think that it's taken me a very long time in my career, and I know too for many other people, to get to a point where you understand that if you are burnt out as a leader, you're not going to be doing your best for your team. So it really isn't a good strategy.
Absolutely. I think many of us struggle with that. But in your book, Feeding Unicorns, you say that leaders are usually obsessed with finding fantastic and really great employees, but often forget to feed them. What are leaders most guilty of neglecting when it comes to nurturing and feeding talent in the workspace?
Sure. There are many aspects that I think need attention, but one for me would be listening to the individual. There can't be a blanket approach for everyone. Time off, if you need to give your family a lot of attention, might be one person's work love language. Another person might be driven by monetary rewards. So once you have found an employee that you want to invest in, and I say investment because you're going to see the returns if you show that investment, you can't have a blanket approach for every individual.
But how do leaders then go about navigating these spaces, Jeni-Anne? Because some people hear, kind or considerable leadership, and they think it maybe means being too soft or lowering quality or standards in the workplace. How do you then respond to people who have that sort of perception, who feel like I have to be stern, I have to be straight to the point, and perhaps kindness has no space here?
I hear that question a lot, Abigail. And, for me, I really have seen the proof in the pudding, where you start out with respect and it's mutual respect. Now, soft, it doesn't mean that you are not skillful. It doesn't mean that you are not stern and have conviction in your thinking and how you're going to steer that ship. But what it means is that you're going to have empathy, and you're going to start with empathy, and you're going to listen, and you are going to understand where your employees are coming from to help build and build strong.
Absolutely. We are quickly running out of time, but I want us to talk about this nomination process. As we've mentioned earlier, you are giving away 10 copies of your book. Talk us through the mechanic. How can people get their hands on one of these books?
Thanks. You can go to jenicampbell.com. It's Jeni Campbell.com, and you'll quickly see, if you navigate to books, where you can nominate.
Fantastic. And you're giving away 10 books in total. When you're nominating, just give us some context. What sort of women should be nominated here? Can we only nominate women? Are we able to nominate men? And what sort of work should these individuals be doing in their communities?
It initially started out as women in the non-profit space, and we say 10 books, but we've already gone over, and I'm quite happy to be sending more, so keep those nominations coming. But it's really people who are dead set on impact and creating impact. And no, it doesn't only have to be a female. It's someone who you believe is really aiming to make a difference in their environments and to the people who work with them and for them.
Fantastic. Jeni-Anne, thank you very much for your insights, for reminding us that mutual respect in the workplace as well is important, and reminding us this festive season to be kind as we make our way back to our works and our respective jobs next year. Well, some of us are still working, so I suppose we can implement that now. But that was Jeni-Anne Campbell, founder of Jaw Advertising and entrepreneur.